This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for Friday, January 8, 2021. I'm Handel Duncan reporting. Here's the top story. Mayor of Georgetown, Ryan, is not happy with the reluctance of the new government to work along with the City Council on city projects. The city mayor told a Friday news conference that works are being undertaken within the city without any consultation with the City Council, while contracts and information for certain major works are being withheld from the Council. He said the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development has been operating in a very shady manner. Mayor Ryan explained that under the previous administration, information was shared with the Council. Displaying copies of volumes of contracts previously received, the mayor insisted that we must know as the City Council to report our constituencies, our people out there. He said he is not clear about what is happening at the ministry and its move to shut the City Council out of plans and contracts for the city.
We wrote the permanent secretary. The council made a decision. We wrote the permanent secretary, Tom Clark did, seeking documents on all the projects that the ministry intend or about to do within the city of Georgetown. We still await on those documents.
The mayor's initial comments stemmed from concerns regarding ongoing works at the East Ramville Market. The works are being undertaken at the city market by the government, and the mayor has complained that there was no consultation, although the city council is responsible for the market. He complained that there is now a clear pattern.
This one here, it is, I think this was the border market. Yes, this is border market. With the roof, recall we did some work there. The government assisted us in 2019. Here's again, contract is here with details. So we have copies of this, and I'm shocked that the officers from the ministry are saying to our engineers that, look, we don't have to give you these documents. Why?
Mayor Ryan said there is also no information coming from the Ministry of Public Works about the silting of drains around the city. Meanwhile, an upgrade to the Waterloo Street Avenue in the city is ongoing.
The works actually started on Waterloo Avenue and Carmichael Avenue, the street. I don't know what form of development is happening there. But the council met yesterday at the task force and instructed the engineer to get documents, some kind of document, some kind of report, so that we can able to communicate with the people of the city, the citizens.
The City Council has been locked out of the project completely, although it made several contributions to the plan under the previous government and came up with many of the ideas now being executed. The mayor is hoping that good sense will prevail and the government and the City Council could work closely to address other needs of citizens. More news coming up in a moment.
People we have
weathered every storm
and risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
all the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
we are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Elite Fragrances and Tradings is your destination for the most luxurious deodorant, perfume, cologne, body spray, sunglasses, wallet, belt, spa, men hair products, and much more. Elite Fragrances and Tradings, 123 Regent Road border between Ornock Street and Shiv Chandapal Drive. You can contact us on 619-5151 or 227-1255. The perfect fragrance is the ultimate accessory.
I wanna be a super 95 million. a Super 95 millionaire this Christmas when you purchase $3,000 or more. Super 95 fuel from Guyana service stations. Enter to win one of 2 first prizes of $1 million plus weekly cash prizes up to $500,000. That's not all. Each week until January 15, 2021, you can also have a chance to win smart TVs, tablets, shopping vouchers, and so much more. So hurry down to the nearest Guyana service station and spend $3,000 or more on Super 95 fuel, and you can be a Super 95 millionaire. See press for more details.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Welcome back. As Guyana continues to move in the direction of being a major destination for investment, the Guyana Office for Investment, Go Invest, and the Private Sector Commission have signed a memorandum of understanding to deepen the relationship between the two bodies, aimed at ensuring that the local private sector also benefits from investment opportunities. The two bodies hope the agreement will usher a new era in the relationship between Go Invest and the PSC. Speaking after the signing of the agreement, the Chief Executive Officer of Go Invest, Dr. Peter Ramsarup, emphasized that with the oil and gas sector, there is a need for the government to work as much as possible with the private sector and local businesses.
One of our missions this year in executing our agenda is to work very closely with the local entities in Guyana to promote investments. And with that, we have discussed and partnered with the private sector to ensure that our local companies know about what incentives government can give to the private sector, how we can bring them together with the international foreign direct investors coming in, how we can promote joint ventures, how we can promote different activities within the private sector.
The Go Invest CEO also explained that the purpose of signing the Memorandum of Understanding is to also provide a framework for cooperation between Go Invest and the PSC, which will facilitate the development of local content, joint ventures between local and foreign investors, and joint promotional activities related to investments. The chairman of the PSC, Nicholas Boyer, expressed similar sentiments and applauded the move to ink the agreement. Mr. Boyer said the agreement signals a deeper cooperation between the two bodies.
The Private Sector Commission and Go Invest, now G Invest, has had a relationship before, but what this represents is the next step in our relationship and a deepening of ties between our two bodies, because clearly what is ahead for Guyana is significant, and the private sector needs to work on developing itself. And what better agency to work through than G Invest?
The private sector head said more foreign companies are eyeing investment opportunities in Guyana. His hope is that local companies will also focus on investment more. Guyana has seen significant growth in investment over the past 5 years since the discovery of oil. Now let's tell you that a major fire was averted this morning at the Fogarty's shopping complex in Water Street as firemen responded promptly to an emergency call and were able to put out a blaze in a section of the building. There are several businesses housed in Fogarty's building in addition to the Fogarty's store and La Parkin offices. The fire appears to have been ignited in a ceiling fan in the restaurant located in the building. The Guyana Fire Service received its first report of the fire just after 9 o'clock and rushed down to the busy Water Street area. The fire service responded with several fire engines as well as one of its fire boats, which remained on standby in the nearby Demerara River. Within an hour, the fire service was able to contain the small blaze to the one area in the building, as some tenants and nearby businesses kept a close eye. Fire Chief Marlon Gentle said it was necessary to have a robust response in the area, since it is a high-risk area because of the number of businesses and buildings.
This area is one of the high-risk areas in the city of Georgetown that we know that we have to have a very robust fire response whenever a call is made, regardless of what the situation is. We have done so, and we have, been able to mitigate whatever could have been a very more frightening situation at this Fogarty's building. If I may add, historically, this area that we're standing here was one of the areas that witnessed one of the most devastating fires in Georgetown in 1945, the Great Fire, where this entire ward was wiped out. So I'm glad that we did not have a repeat today of the same situation.
The fire chief said the downtown Water Street area remains one of the most congested areas in the city and therefore will always be on the radar of the fire service. A full investigation into this morning's blaze is underway. A few businesses suffered some water damage. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony is heading the National COVID-19 Vaccination Task Force, which has been activated to prepare the country for a vaccination drive when it gets the COVID-19 vaccines. The task force has brought together health professionals in government, as well as senior military and police officials, as well as representatives of the private sector. In a statement, the health minister explained that there was a deliberate decision to appoint members to the task force who possess specific skill sets that would be required for any national immunization program in general, but more importantly, having regard to the nature of the COVID-19 pandemic in particular.
We have to remain cautious. So while we are working to bring down numbers, we also have to get people to ensure that they're doing the right things. Numbers coming down does not mean that we have to relax our approach to this pandemic. And very often I kind of see that type of irresponsible behavior.
Guyana has recorded 41 new cases of coronavirus in the past 24 hours, with 6 persons now in the coronavirus intensive care unit and more than 300 active cases. Guyana is not expected to receive its first set of COVID-19 vaccines until around the month of April. Well, GWI is promising residents of Sophia and surrounding communities in Georgetown that they can look forward to improved water pressure and better service within 2 weeks. The announcement comes on the heels of repeated complaints from Sophia residents over the low water pressure. Some residents have been complaining for more than 2 months about the situation. In a statement this afternoon, GWI said it will be activating a well located in the compound of the Sophia water treatment plant, and it will serve as an additional water source for thousands of customers in communities including Sophia, Cummings Lodge, Turkine, and Patterson. 100 lengths of transmission pipelines are currently being installed by in-house staff from the well to a 10-inch diameter transmission main located in Farmers Field. It is from this main that the water will be distributed to the communities. One of the water sources for the communities is the North Ramville No. 2 well, which is currently out of operation following the collapse of the well casing. This resulted in residents in sections of the aforementioned communities receiving reduced water pressure. Chief Executive Officer of GWI Sheikh Bashk visited the area and said the utility company remains concerned about the complaints from its customers. He said he will be pushing for the works to be completed soon. And finally, on the local scene, the mother of that 6-year-old who was found badly beaten and dumped in a swamp was today charged for the attempted murder of the child. 25-year-old East Canterbury resident Drupati Balkaran appeared at the New Amsterdam Magistrates Court and was not required to enter plea to the indictable charge. The prosecution's case is that on the 13th of December, the woman attempted to murder her own 6-year-old by beating her mercilessly with a piece of wood until she lost consciousness. The child was left to die in a swamp. She was found in a semi-conscious state and taken to the hospital, where she was a patient for several days. The young child is now in the care of her father. In court today, the prosecution objected to bail, but the magistrate granted bail in the sum of $300,000 and ordered the woman to return to court on the 27th of January for the continuation of the matter. News from around the region is coming up next.
to the impacts of the global pandemic, COVID-19, across our nation, essential organizations like us have chosen to adopt innovative approaches to meet the emerging needs of our customers while protecting our employees. Here are some quick tips to make managing your GPL bill easier while we practice social distancing. To register for electronic billing, you can use the e-billing tab on your website. To access your bill balance, you can use 4 options: the website live chat at gpl.net, the online inquiry on our website under billing, SMS Freedom by texting your GPL reference number to 624-0400 or 608-8400, or call our call center at 226-2600. A message from the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
Been through it all.
But as a people we have
Weathered every storm.
And risen to every challenge.
Because it is the people of Guyana
that gives it its strength.
All the people,
regardless of race,
class, or religion.
We are one people, one strength.
And now is our time. A time to rise. Together, we rise.
Well, across the region tonight, we begin in Grenada. The ruling New National Party NNP is unlikely to get a new political leader, as the incumbent leader has indicated that he wants to hold on to the job. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has confirmed that he will not be exiting public life before the 2023 general election and intends to serve as a candidate again. During the campaign for the 2018 general election, Dr. Mitchell had indicated that he has no plans to contest another general election. But with the next elections due in 2 years, Dr. Mitchell has announced that he has changed his plans and his mind about leadership. The Prime Minister said he would have preferred not to serve again, but a decision has been made. Dr. Mitchell has been serving in the Grenada Parliament for over 40 years. Well, over in Antigua and Bermuda, the government there is currently doling out almost 17,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars per day to keep regional airline Liat in the skies. The money is coming from resources borrowed over a year ago for the purpose of recapitalizing the airline. A subcommittee of 3 ministers on the island will be tasked with tracking Liat's progress. The ministers will be meeting with decision makers for the airline and will keep the cabinet abreast of all developments. Liat is currently racking up monthly payments of approximately $500,000 EC dollars. And finally, international news. U.S. President Donald Trump will not attend the inauguration of his successor, Democratic President-elect Joe Biden, later this month. Mr. Trump, who still believes he won the elections despite the results telling him a different story, is promising a peaceful transfer of power. According to U.S. media reports, there have been discussions at the White House about Trump leaving Washington on the 19th of January, 1 day before the inauguration. He's expected to settle in Florida at his Mar-a-Lago resort. The U.S. president has been coming under criticism for his incitement of violence and the storming of the U.S. Capitol building by his supporters. And that's your Friday edition of the News Source Evening Bulletin. I'm Handel Duncan reporting. Please stay safe.